Hey everybody, welcome to Talk Wrestling here on the NoDQ.com channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, where are we at here? Greg Cherry Brand. We are on the Cleaver Colin Andrews YouTube channel, and we're on Noah Foster's YouTube channel. We are all over the damn place. We are like horseshit. We're everywhere, kids. What is up? Happy Monday. I know I just came off a live stream over on the social media pages. So if you saw that, you were in lucky. If you missed that, tough shit. Catch you next time. So anyway, let's see here. What are we? I need to talk to you later, Lisa. She had a question I couldn't really read. Anyway, I'm glad everybody's here. I appreciate you being here. As you saw in the coming attractions, we do have a very cool episode of Dads Are Not Always in Wrestling coming up on Friday, December 18th, 1 week till Christmas. We will have our top 10 Christmas movies of myself and JJ's choosing. That'll be the end of the week here on the Jeff Meacham Network. Big G, you are too kind, my friend. I love you, brother. And Santa cannot wait to contribute to your holiday, and we'll leave it at that in case they're watching. So hello Michael, good to see you, sir. Hello Dwayne, thank you for being there in the chat earlier on the social media side of things. I appreciate it very much. But yeah, we have a really fun week coming up over on my network and everywhere. So there you go. Goldberg is a piece of shit, Cody. Thank you very much. Pete Moss, Chris, you know what? It's so funny. I every time I have a movie or whatever come up with JJ, this sentence seems to come out of my mouth. I've never seen it. I have never seen Christmas Vacation or any of the Chevy Chase vacation movies. I'm not a Chevy Chase fan. I don't like Chevy. I've met Chevy. He's kind of the jackass. So I have no interest in watching his movies or seeing what he does. I didn't like him on SNL. I thought he was terrible on that too. And that's just my opinion. And that's where I'm going to stick with. I don't like him. I think he's I just don't like the guy. So I don't have any interest in watching his stuff. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was on JJ's list, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. And we'll have to just wait and see on Friday, because that's what we're going to do over on the Jeff Meacham Network side of things. That's Friday at 6 o'clock in this time slot. So there you go. Brendan, good afternoon. Good to see you as always, my friend. So as I said over on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram about a half hour or so ago, the first part of the show is going to be a preview for what's coming up on the Jeff Meacham Network and the No DQ YouTube channel, as well as our other affiliates. And then we will transition into the Ask Me Anything, as we always do. And Michael, I see your questions, so we'll get to that in the second part of the show. I promise. Same with Psycho Jet Black. We'll get to you, boss. I promise. Thank you. So, of course, we're starting off the week with Talk Wrestling. If you guys missed last week, you missed some fun. We here in Southern California had one of our amazing, let me use the exact terminology that these jackasses use so I don't misquote the boneheads. Let's see, where I deleted it. Did I really? Son of a bitch, I deleted it. Ain't that terrible? Okay. Well, something like a planned stoppage of power or some stupid shit like that. Anyway, Spectrum, SoCal Edison gives us about 3 days warning to, gather supplies, get a generator and spend thousands of dollars. Be ready because we're going to shut you down because the winds are so high out here and our power lines are so crappy that we have to shut you down to make sure our asses are covered because we lost an entire town up in Northern California this year because of our stupidity. Look it up. Paradise, California. I'm not kidding. It is flat. Gone. Bye. People died. It was terrible. They got sued for it. So yeah, they shut us down Monday, and then it's Tuesday. 34 hours we were off. I had no power. I had no internet. I had no data use. I couldn't even get a fucking tweet out of my phone. There's the F-bomb. Damn it. It's too early for that. I couldn't get a tweet on my phone. I had to go to my brother's house to do anything, which is why Stat Boys Sports Bar was a train wreck last Tuesday night after the football game. So I do apologize if you didn't enjoy Stat Boys Sports Bar. It was not Mikey's fault at all. He was well prepared. He did a great job carrying that show. I was dicking with technology and drama. So Mikey, props to you. We will see you tomorrow in our regular time slot, 7 o'clock. For Pacific. So stay tuned for that momentarily. Anyway, so we did those 2 days. And then, of course, Wednesday morning, we were back kicking with the Greg Cherry Show and with everything we did that day. So there you go. But this week, again, Talk Wrestling will be on. I'm going to shoot to be done no later than 7:30, just so I can get time because I'm going to be in the Thunderdome tonight. So I want to make sure I'm prepared for the producer coaching. Tomorrow on the Jeff Meacham Network. It'll be only on the, let's see, what are we doing? I forget what we're doing that show on. It'll be on this the YouTube channel. It'll be on Statboy Rants, the Facebook page for Statboy Rants, and Mikey's Twitter. It'll be StatKid1977. That'll be for Statboy Rants, which will not have been loaded because I'm an idiot. I didn't realize that I didn't have it yet because I was not paying attention, so I'm sorry. So bear with me here. That show is going to feature a brief recap of what happened this week in the NBA preseason action. Of course, our detailed coverage of the week in the NFL and the predictions for next week and power rankings and all that happy jazz that Mikey does oh so well each and every Tuesday now. Hopefully we'll be back on track full time for Tuesday. And of course, the show will end with his weekly Stat Boys shout out, which is always so cool that he takes the time to, give a little recognition to somebody outside of himself and outside of us. I think that's very cool of him to do that. Before that, however, on the No DQ channel and the Jeff Meacham Network, we will have our exclusive TLC predictions panel. Myself, the boss, I believe Big G and the Cleaver will be part of that foursome, that four-man unit of predictions for Sunday's WWE Extravaganza on the network from the new Thunderdome at Tropicana Field. So that'll be on Tuesday. That'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific, as it is every Tuesday. We do predictions with Aaron because Aaron likes to keep things uniform, as he should. He's been doing this for 22 years, and he deserves his kicks, and he's earned them. Lord knows he has. Wednesday morning, of course, every Wednesday morning here, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 p.m. for you East Coast kiddos. Well, not the kiddos because we get a little mouthy on those shows. But we'll have the Greg Jerry Show. We haven't done the What's Trending Now in a while. I realized that as I was going through and making these graphics this week that we haven't done the What's Trending Now segment in quite a while because we get so involved in the football wrestling talk that we kind of forget what the hell we're doing, and we go 30 to 45 minutes on one thing. It's, oh shit, we were cracking. So if I can steer the show as producer, God help me, we'll try to get some What's Trending Now because it's a hot topic. We can't get away from what it is. We have the election results are always looming, and there's some shit going down up in Washington, so we'll see how it plays out. Thursday on my network, the Jeff Meacham Network, and we may do it on Greg's channel, the Greg Cherry Brand. I haven't decided. I don't know if we're going to post that there or not. We'll see how things go Wednesday when we record it. But Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific, we're going to feature a match that Greg was there live for in Pittsburgh as Batista defended the World Heavyweight Championship in a triple threat match against the Rated R Superstar, the returning Edge, and the man from the dark side, of course, the Phenom, The Undertaker, who was just retired. That was from Armageddon back in 2007. I've never seen this match. I've never seen this pay-per-view. What's so funny is I bought this pay-per-view on DVD from a local, one of those like non-blockbuster places, like it wasn't Blockbuster, it wasn't Hollywood, it was just some random mom and pop video store. I bought Armageddon 7. I never did watch the damn thing. I don't even know where the disc is now. Couldn't tell you. It's probably in my collection of shit somewhere back here in the corner, ready to move, right? So there's that. And then Friday, as you saw at the top of the show before we came on the air, JJ and I will be back with Dads for the first time in 2 weeks with our non-wrestling show for the month as we review and list our top 10 greatest Christmas movies of all time. Yes, some of them are on the screen that this lovely family is watching as we, invade their privacy for this graphic. So there's that. That's the week. That's what we're doing for Jeff Meacham Network and No DQ and Greg Cherry. Colin, Noah, if you're watching, you have something for me to plug, send me the graphic. I'll throw it up there. So with that, it is time for your favorite part of the week and mine. Ask Meach anything. So if you have a question for good old JM, by all means, throw it my way, and I will answer to the best of my ability. And we had a question come in from Michael at about 10 minutes ago, and he asked me my expectations for Raw tonight. It's always hard to predict a go-home show in the network era and in the COVID era. Traditionally, a go-home show would, be the thing to entice you to order the pay-per-view on Sunday. But in this last 6 years, there hasn't been that oomph to do that because they own the network anyway. So if you're already subscribed, they don't have to prove it to you, right? So there's that. It's really just that simple. I don't know what to expect tonight. Like I said, I'm going to sit in the Thunderdome. My call time is 9:45. So I'll be there for the last hour or so of the show in the Thunderdome, watching on my virtual screen. So we'll see how that plays out. What do you say? We will see how it plays out. But I don't expect anything from these shows at this point. I just sit back and watch and just kind of do my thing, see how things go. That's what I do now with these shows. Psycho Jet Black asked me my thoughts on Jim Ross criticizing AEW of overusing the super kick and the DDT. That's been a topic brought up many times by many of the old schoolers, including myself, to be honest with you, for many, many years. When I first started watching professional wrestling back in 1990, the DDT was one of the most lethal finishers in the business. If Jake the Snake Roberts hit you with the DDT, you weren't getting up. It took two for The Undertaker, and he still got up. He's the only guy that ever did that with Jake. Now, and it's the same thing with Arn Anderson. If Arn hit you with the DDT, it was night time. Okay? Now it's just a plot device. It's just another move in the sequence, and that's bullshit. Jim Ross is absolutely 100% correct about that. Same with the super kick. I remember when Chris Adams super kicked somebody in Texas, their teeth ended up in fucking Florida. Sorry to Aaron. Sorry, in Florida. When Shawn Michaels became a single star, he originally used that hokey looking side suplex, and Kurt went, "What are you doing?" Kurt said, "What are you doing? You got the kick. Use the kick." Sweet chin music. Boom. Good night. No matter where he hit it, no matter who he hit it on. Boom. Good night. Again, now it's a goddamn super kick party. I love my Bucks. I love Matt. I miss those guys so much, but that thing is so stupid. It is so stupid, beyond stupid. And they've completely deregulated the move, demoralized the move. Excuse me. So there you go. Anthony says, "How about them Steelers? You're asking the wrong guy. I'm a Cowboys fan. We still suck." Big G wants to know my favorite TLC match. Golly, there's so many of them. I'm going to cheat, and I'll tell you why. My favorite TLC match wasn't actually classified as a TLC match. My favorite TLC match was the Triangle Ladder match, WrestleMania 2000, before they added the word chairs to the title. It was a Triangle Ladder match, but they used tables and they used chairs. It was Mick Foley going into SummerSlam that called it TLC for the first time. but that's my favorite because I was there. I'm biased. Second runner-up, very close second runner-up is an actual TLC match. TLC 3, Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian, Benoit, Jericho. SmackDown, May 24th, 2001. My goodness. The first TLC on network television and one of the last. It just was incredible. It really was. And it was great to see those 8 guys tear it up live and kind of have to, rebound from the horrible thing of Hunter tearing his quadricep the previous night. It was just a great show all around, and it was just a thing to behold. My favorite Vince McMahon pay-per-view match, Dwayne, is the one against Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 22. It won Match of the Year, and it was a Vince McMahon match. Like, what the hell? That's crazy that Vince won Match of the Year. It was that good because it was that emotional, and Vince did that good a job, along with Shawn, of course. Let's see what we got here. Report Card Radio says, "Hey Jeff, I was watching 83 Weeks today. They covered Starrcade 99. Oh God. I want to ask you about Bret Hart coming in at Starrcade 97. How big of a money match would it have been to do Hogan Hart? It would have been the money match, let's be honest. We have sat here now for over 20 years going, why didn't that happen on pay-per-view? Why didn't it happen on WWE pay-per-view, first of all, back in 93? And then why didn't WWE pull the trigger? Why did that not happen? I don't understand. I still don't to this day. Once the thing with Sting flopped because of Sting's alleged conditioning and Hogan's alleged power play, yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. So, it was just not good. Oh, Cat called me. Hang on a second. She just called me. Why didn't it? Oh well. Anyway, yeah, money lost, much like WCW did. Oh, Jesus Christ. The drama continues with Jeff Meacham's life. Okay. Yeah, waste of perfectly good greenbacks for sure. All right. Colin says, thoughts on certain wrestlers being moved, sent back to the PC. I did talk about that, I think, on when I actually did talk wrestling Friday. Not good. The way it was handled is what's not good. The way it was publicized inappropriately was not okay by WWE's part. Aaron, thank you for tuning in as well, sir. We appreciate you being here, boss. Big G says, I'll be working on my channel and possibly have something up by the new year. Great. That's awesome. More everybody in the party. All right. So they're having a conversation in there. All right. Brandon says, what match are you looking forward to at TLC? Honestly, right now, I'm looking forward to Drew and AJ. First time ever. Going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. Pete Moss says, say what you will about Corbin, but they have protected the shit out of the end of days. Yes, they have. And they better keep friggin' doing it. Psycho Jet Black says, which company do you hate more, Comcast or AT&T? I don't have Comcast other than my use of the NBC networks. So by default, the answer is AT&T, I suppose, because they're stupid shut down along with the power light last week. That really pissed me the hell off. All right. Anthony says, I was making a joke because Bills took them down. Your Cowboys won and my Chiefs won. Hey, you know what? The Chiefs are rolling along, baby. And I've always liked the Chiefs. And I know I feel like a front runner. I've had no problem. I liked Kansas City back when Joe Montana made that ridiculous jump. Like, what the hell just happened? Joe Montana's playing for Kansas City? And, of course, I have affinity for Kansas City because of Harley Race, who I adored dearly. So I'm all about that. Let's see. Reporter Radio's replied to the comment earlier of the question. I think the best play if Sting won would have been to have Hart challenge him, but the bigger match. No question about that. And they did Sting versus Hart, and that didn't do any business either, which sucks. Elon says, what did you think of the Goldberg Untold? And also, how would you book in the streak? Okay. Here's where I get a little biased. So sorry. I sat through the entire thing, and I hated it because I don't like Bill at all. But at the point they got with his streak, which was 173 wins straight, if you count the inflation crap they did, which, I'd love to go back and actually watch. And I do intend one of these days to go back and actually tabulate Nitro, Thunder, and live event victories and see where that streak actually was. And for what it's worth, he had 2 dark matches before he debuted against Hugh Morris on Nitro. He lost those 2 matches, so he really wasn't defeated in the first place. Anyway, if I was booking in the first place and had to let it get to the point it got, I probably would have done it the same way as far as having the streak end at Starrcade. It's your biggest show of the year. It's your big moment. I still would have had Kevin beat him. I wouldn't have had so much outside bullshit. I would have had no Disco. I would have had no Bam Bam. But I would have had Scott still shock him. They talked about on the Untold thing, it was supposed to be actually like a big spark that was supposed to shoot across and stun him. I would have done that and really made it meaningful that he got knocked out by something outside of physical brutality. And it took something, technology and some sort of horrible, piece of equipment to take down the big beast. Also, I do feel the need as I sit here and talk, and shit on Goldberg, because that's my hobby, right? I do need to kind of critique Kevin Nash. I think I did this once before talking about Goldberg. So if I did it again, if I'm doing it again and you're watching it for the second time, I'm sorry in advance. On the NWO roundtable, on the network and on the old DVDs and the 24/7 channel, they did an NWO roundtable for Legends of Wrestling, and Kevin said that Goldberg botched the follow-up to the finger poke of doom by busting his the tendons in his arm in the limo window. Okay, here's where there's a problem with that. The finger poke of doom was January 4th, 1999. I'll never forget it as long as I live. To this day, we did a panel about it earlier in the year on my network on the audio side. Check it out, please. The limo thing was after Vince Russo took over. The limo thing was of NWO 2000, the silver NWO, in December 1999. So almost more than 12 months later. The reason the Goldberg program with the finger poke of doom follow-up didn't work is because Hollywood got hurt, Steiner got hurt, Scott Hall got hurt. Bing, bang, boom, right in a row. You can't do much with 3 guys going down. And plus, Hogan and Flair organically switched sides again. So this horrible, despicable heel was all of a sudden the babyface again. So how do you feed that to Goldberg? You can't, right? So not to give Goldberg any credit or anything, but Kevin was blowing smoke out his ass on that panel. Just saying. Cody says, if AEW makes Sting champion, it will officially be TNA 2010-2011. I don't think he's going to be champion, guys. Take a breath. It's okay. Elijah says, Jeff, how do you feel about AEW music? Do you think wrestling needs to bring back copyright music sometime? Something like Judas or Kingdom by Downstate and the top 5 best AEW? Jesus Christ. Okay. I don't even know the names of 5 AEW themes. I know Judas, and I know Unscripted Violence, I think, is John Moxley's theme. I think that's right. It's funny, as much as Virtue was trying to go for the swipe at me from my sleeping in my chair picture about 5 minutes in AEW, he's not far off. I have not watched much televised live wrestling in the last couple weeks, so I couldn't tell you the names of the themes. I can barely tell you the guys on the rosters right now who's on what show. Like honestly, so there's that. Elon says whoever wins between the Street Profits and Robert Roode and Ziggler, who's the next makeshift they're gonna put together to challenge them since it's basically no tag teams. I can't answer that with a straight face. I have no friggin' idea. And then Elon also says Bill's gonna beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. I believe that when I see it. Yeah, exactly. The Sting Hart thing was for the U.S. title, which was bullshit to have Brett be U.S. champion, but whatever. Elijah says, how do you feel about Corbin's stable with Forgotten Sons, and do you think he should be repackaged and add a female or another male? The King Corbin thing has run its course. Definitely think he needs a new gimmick or look, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'd like to see some more people. People like to shit on Baron Corbin. I don't. I've liked Baron Corbin from the beginning. I think he's been saddled with very poor booking and ridiculous gimmicks. So bring him back to his roots. Badass biker type guy or, badass, intense, moody guy. Put him with Forgotten Sons. Boom. Money. So there you go. Cleaver says, can you see Candice LeRae in the NXT Women's title picture when she returns from her broken arm? I feel that's where they were going when she hurt with her character. Yes. Candice LeRae should be the next NXT Women's Champion, and I'm saying here and now, 6:26 Eastern on Monday, December 14th, 2020, Candice LeRae will be the next NXT Women's Champion once she returns from injury. Boom. I said it, and I mean it. Let's see here. Domestic Butler says, do you think Undertaker working as a ministry leader without wrestling would work now? Whoops, hi. Yeah, I'm on the air, sweetie. Hi. Anyway, if you mean like an actual ministry like DiBiase does, he's not that guy. If he were to be the Ministry of Darkness leader as a non-wrestler, it still wouldn't work. Guys, let the man go. He put in 30 friggin' years, man. Like, seriously. Why do we need to keep bringing the old guys back? Like, why? Let the new guys, all we did was bitch about WCW not letting the new guys get a rub. Undertaker has at least 15 years past his prime. Like, let him retire and be happy. And be Bart Calloway with Michelle and the girls. Seriously. Pete Moss is going off the last question, and all due respect to them, is it crazy to think the Profits are coming, hold on to the spectrum next titles until Jimmy Uso comes back, keep the building that stable? It's not disrespectful to them, and I don't think you're far off, Pete. I really don't. I would love to see the Usos be tag team champions again as part of this family, the Samoan dynasty, whatever they're going to call it, the table. I think that's money again. I love that. Report Card Radio says, what are your thoughts on Brody Lee's run with AEW thus far? It's a shame. I don't know if he got hurt or whatever it was, but I have been so thrilled for Brody that he got this opportunity and he's been given a chance to showcase how awesome he is. And how awesome he could have been if WWE had just opened their damn eyes. So there you go. Dwayne says, since Charlotte challenged for the NXT Women's Championship, can you see a male Rumble winner challenging for the Men's NXT Championship? A year ago or two, I would have said that. Not this year. Again, with all due respect to Finn Balor, the winner of the Rumble is not going to challenge Finn Balor. That's just not the WrestleMania main event. It's not. Finn's shine has been given so much tarnish with injury, with poor booking, with all this stupid shit they've had him do. He's not the WrestleMania main event that they wanted him to be, and I don't see it happening. So it'll be for the Universal or for the WWE Championship. Psycho Jet Black says, thoughts on the new Mighty Ducks TV show on Disney Plus. I did mention that this morning during my Instagram live, Psycho Jet Black. I don't know if you're on Instagram, but underscore Jeff Meacham for the record on Instagram live. So I'm very excited about the Mighty Ducks coming back. I do like that they're making the Ducks the Hawks of 2020 with the established 10 titles and the arrogant attitude. So yeah, I love it, and I love that Gordon Bombay is coming back. I'm very happy to see Emilio Estevez back. Looking like he should, like he's out to seed, past his prime guy. Hang on one second, guys. Okay, Instagram, there it is. Boop. Boop. Okay. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like to see who else comes back if any of the kids do. I know some of the kids have had trouble, with the law, with living that child star life and everything. So I'd be curious to see who all comes back. I mean, you gotta believe Josh Jackson has to come back. I mean, he was the heart and soul of the team, right? You got to believe Kenan Thompson if he's able to get away from SNL for a couple episodes. Great to see Russ back. Banksy, Julie the Cat Gaffney, Connie. So I'm like, all the Ducks are so great. I would love to see it. I love to see them all have a cameo in some way. Brendan says, hope that next time you see Undertaker's for the Hall of Fame. I agree. I like Taker, but again, there you go. Domestic Butler says, how would you book Aleister Black? Let's keep it PC, folks. I wouldn't. I would let him go because his wife left, and he shouldn't have to be held hostage and stay where his wife was not wanted. That's not right. My favorite Starcade Michael was probably, if I look back at all the ones I've seen now and the ones I watched in the moment, of the ones I watched in real time, my favorite one is probably 1997. It was the company. I mean, as botched as the finish was with Sting and Hogan and the whole Zbyszko thing with Brett refereeing, that was the best Starcade I saw in real time. Overall, now the best Starcade, I mean, the first one holds up. It's just long. The best Starcade of the pre-WCW era, I think, by and large, is 1984 or 85. One of those two. Those two were awesome. Awesome. Who dinged me? What the hell? I missed it. Crap. Was it? No. Okay. No, it wasn't that. Well, now I'm curious. I'm on right now until at least I hate this thing so much. Until at least 7. Anyway, my favorite Starcade now, looking back, is either 84 or 85, like I said. All right, kind of went off the tracks there. Sorry about that. Jeff, how do you feel? Did you hear the news about NXT Indian and how feel about Ciampa and Thatcher storyline? Or okay, I need you to clean that up. I have no idea what you're asking me. No idea what you asked me there. Sorry. Brandon said, I like a Disney Plus making movies about Oregon Duck, Keenan Lowe, and what he did stopping high school last year. Yes, that was awesome. I've been advertising this all weekend. Advertised all weekend. All weekend. Freaking God, I hate this phone. I need a new phone. Anyway, yeah, I love the Disney Plus movies. I love, like I said, I think I said it this morning on the show, the stream. Best $7 I spend a month. Honestly, I love Disney Plus. I'm such a Disney dork. I absolutely love it. Where we go here? Elon says, "Do you think the NCAA should do 8 or 16 team tournament this year instead of the 4-team college football playoff?" I'm not enough of a college sports person to give it. I mean, if you want to throw that at Mikey tomorrow on the sports bar or Greg on the Greg Cherry show, go for it. I don't really have a educated answer, and that's really the reality of it. I'm sorry. Worst and best WrestleMania main event. Wow, your guys' typing today is not so good. Okay, he cleaned it up. There you go. Okay. Okay, the worst WrestleMania main event by far was the WrestleMania 9 scenario. That was so bad. So bad. The best WrestleMania main event was WrestleMania 3, Hogan and Andre. I know, I'm biased. David says, how would you have booked Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 22? Oh, Eddie would have gone over. No question about that. I would have had it be some sort of long match, like Iron Man match stipulation, some sort of endurance type match, because those two could go. Richie the Wolf says, Saw Raw has a PGV and SmackDown has a PG DLSV rating. Do you think SmackDown has the edge of your show? I think it is right now because of the content with everything that Roman's doing, everything that we're seeing from that camp, and just the intensity is very it's much more like visceral than the Raw stuff. Excuse me one second. Okay, excuse me one second. I'm still muted. Idiot. Okay. Psychojet Black says, how would you rank from best to worst Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NFL, the NHL? The NHL's first, always in my heart. Always, always. Major League Baseball, the NFL, and the NBA. I have not consciously watched a basketball game on purpose other than the Lakers becoming the champions this year. Honest to God, I haven't. Since Jordan left the Bulls the second time. I haven't. Even when the Lakers were doing so great with Kobe and Shaq and then with Kobe. Didn't watch. No interest. Just not my thing. Domestic Butler says $2.99 pound, right? Or is that a euro? I can't tell. Super sticker. Thank you, Domestic Butler. And he says, do you think Edge will return for the Royal Rumble? Probably. I got to think he's better than he was, right? I mean, he's got to be close. Elon says, did you watch the Super J Cup Final Resolution or Triple X Mini this weekend? If so, what's your thoughts? I'll be honest with you, Elon. I spent this weekend, for those of you that missed my stream this morning on Instagram, I spent this weekend preparing my virtual Santa business. So I did not watch wrestling this weekend at all. And if you missed that, I'm not faulting you for that. That it is what it is, baby. But Twitter and Instagram at Santa Claus JDM. And my Facebook is a mess. I got to fix that. But it's Santa Jeff, first name, Claus Meacham, last name. I know, original, right? What I'm doing is for $5, you get 10 minutes for your child, your grandchild, your nephew, your niece, your cousin, your brother once removed, your third aunt's second cousin, whatever. To to talk to Santa Claus and tell him what you want this year for Christmas, or whatever you want to talk about with Santa Claus. Santa's pretty game to talk about whatever. So, it's perfectly okay, whatever you want. But yeah, it's paypal.me/Jeff Meacham. So that's where I did this weekend, not watch wrestling. And I know somebody else that was busy this weekend because, well, she's a mom and she's a busy lady in general because being awesome is a very busy task. I know it is. And how the hell are you, Elise?
Hey, how are you?
I am doing much better than I was when I texted you earlier. I'll tell you that much.
That's good.
Yeah, Lisa got to hear the full brunt of my my escapade with the goddamn green screen that wasn't. One more week, and then we'll have proper technology in these damn shows. I swear to God. Oh, so are you guys like totally covered in snow at this point up there in Canada?
It went away probably for the last 2 or 3 days, but it's starting again now and very cold. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been hearing from Colin in Ohio. It's snowing there, and I know it's either cold as heck or snowing in Michigan where Aaron and Caitlin are. It's bananas. 'Tis the season.
Exactly.
Now, okay, I have a great question, and this is just from me and my best friend Bailey, who you know very well at this point, as far as me talking about her. She's noticed that a lot of her circle seems to be getting that bug where they're getting engaged or they're going to get married or all that. Is that happening like everywhere, or is it just her and I noticing it because we're single and sad?
No, I think it's pretty much happening all over the place.
Yeah.
I know lots of baby news
right
going around everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess people have nothing else to do.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, spending so much time together, I guess now is as good a time as any.
Yeah, I'm wondering who the first baby is going to be named, COVID or some weird African connotation, some weird like that. It's going to be something weird like that, right? So, Lordy. So you, like myself, have a Thunderdome seat coming up here in a little while. What's your call time, by the way?
7:15.
Oh, see, mine's at 9:45. Wait, 7:15 your time or 7:15?
My time.
So that's So you're going in before the show starts. You're going into our main event. Interesting. Okay.
Sure.
So, I don't even know anymore. So somebody asked me earlier what my expectations are for Raw. It's the go home show in theory for TLC for the Raw brand. What do you expect coming out of the brand new Thunderdome at Tropicana?
What do I expect of it?
Yes. What are your expectations for Raw tonight? Was the question asked of me, so I'm asking you the same thing.
Hopefully some more build up to TLC. It's not very appealing to me right now.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier.
My son wants to watch it, but I'm like, I don't know.
Well, I remember we talked about this during Survivor Series because you ordered the network specifically for your son to see the Final Farewell.
Yeah.
But now it's like there's so much good stuff on there. It's hard to discontinue the subscription because.
I know he's been watching a lot of like the older stuff.
That a boy. There you go.
We watched the Royal Rumble 1990 and like that kind of stuff. Just yeah.
Very very funny seeing Tony Schiavone and Jesse Ventura in a WWF booth. That's very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because especially knowing Tony now, it's like, oh, that doesn't age well.
So he's slowly kind of like moving up.
That's awesome.
Learning about past where people kind of got their start and
yes.
Well, the old Shawn Michaels, he thought it was hilarious.
Right.
The rocker Shawn Michaels.
Oh man, wait till he gets to friggin' 92 because HBK when he turned, he was an evil cocky ass. Oh my god. Yeah. He's gonna hate Shawn.
He didn't believe me it was him. And I'm like, no, that's Shawn Michaels. No, that's not Shawn Michaels. I'm like, yes, it is. And he's what, in his 20s at that point? Something like that. He was young.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he was still, he was still carrying pimples to the ring at that time. He was such a baby. I mean, Marty was the older statesman of the two for sure, but Shawn, was still very, very young. It was crazy. So, yeah, what I want him to, I'd love to hear your son's opinion when he gets there, if he so chooses, is to watch the WCW stuff, like the rise and the freaking crash and burn. I'm at the point of my binge, because I'm doing the whole Monday Night War, both companies, right?
Yeah, that's what
I
I told him he should watch. Like start in that kind of era and
Yeah, I just passed the 2000 Royal Rumble. So I'm
okay.
already so I'm like elbow deep in Cactus versus Hunter, and on the WCW side, I'm doing the whole NWO 2000. Nash is the commissioner. Terry Funk's middle-aged and crazy for being a 50-year-old. He's still middle-aged and crazy apparently. Ric Flair just came back. It's starting to get really really bad again. I'm going, oh, here we go, because I
Yeah.
know over that hump we're gonna get Russo and Bischoff back together, and it's like, oh no, I'm gonna start crying. It's like, I love my buddy David Arquette, but it's gonna get bad. So I love to hear his perspective on that, because he's coming in 20 years after the fact. So
Yeah.
it's so funny to go back and watch it, because a lot of people don't realize I didn't see a lot of that stuff at that age, because my grades were so crappy in school. I didn't get to watch wrestling. So like, I only knew pay-per-views because those were okay, because those were my social thing. I was allowed to have friends over, and if I didn't have pay-per-views, I couldn't have my friends over. So my mom kind of like waived the rule a little bit. But I didn't get to see Raw, Nitro, SmackDown, Thunder, any of those. So I had no idea what the hell was going on every time I saw pay-per-view. So to go back and watch this stuff now, it's like, wow, I am glad I was grounded. WCW, WWF was kicking major ass. That was awesome stuff. So, okay, before I go on, is your son in earshot?
No, he's not. He's playing video games right now.
How awesome was that belt? Oh my god! Like,
He does.
is it like a real replica, like the real weight and everything, or is it like
Yeah, yeah. It's about. Well, like John said, it's about 5.5 pounds.
Jesus?
Like,
Yeah,
well, you saw the pictures. Like, it's
I
like
did.
two of me. Right?
Yeah, well, that's because you're like big, sweetheart. But yeah, it's like I've noticed, like even the real quality replicas now are still much less weight than the ones they carry to the ring, obviously. But like the ones I've got up here that I had on Rewind the other day, like those were cast from the originals, and they're not light, man. Like they're when they call the NWA belt the 10 pounds of gold, it's a legit 10 pounds, and it carries every bit. It's heavier than shit.
Yeah, like it's the
So
leather straps, so the
yeah,
metal. It's like it's not the plastic one.
no,
It's
no,
he'll be happy with it. It's
yes.
killing me not to be able to give it to him.
Right. Well, 10 more days. Right. 10 more days.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's crazy that Christmas is in 10 days. That's bonkers to me that we're already at Christmas.
yeah.
Well, let's get into the question pool. Let's see here. Let's see what they're saying here. Here we go. Here we go. If you had a wrestling company and could draft any wrestler in history to be the face of the company, who would it be? For me, I'd probably draft Bret Hart first overall. This is from Michael Gonzalez. I forget where Michael's from, but hi, Michael. Okay. It's funny. This is going to sound so cheesy with both of us in the room, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. I always answer this question going back to the CW special when they first added like the huge batch of hardcore TV content to the network. And they did a special with Heyman and Joey Styles. And Joey asked Paul, who would you draft now? And they went over a few names and they kind of back and forth. And then Paul, very matter of factly, said John Cena.
Yeah, that's where my mind was going.
And Joey looked at him like he had three heads. And Paul said, why not John Cena? This guy has carried this company. He was the guy for 10 years. Like, nobody did that. Hogan didn't do that. Stone Cold didn't do that. The Rock and Hunter didn't do that. John had to be the face of the company at a time where not only were you the champion, taking the championships to each pay-per-view, each TV, each this, he was the guy at PR stuff. He was the guy at, premieres of other guys' movies. He was the guy doing, Make-A-Wish. I mean, I think John is about at 6,000 Make-A-Wish at this point, something like that. It's ridiculous. Like, he had to be the guy in every facet of every media department of the company. Like, how do you not have that guy be your guy if you're starting a company from scratch? Plus, he's got the freaking work ethic of a damn steel construction worker and the personality of a genuine human being, which is rare in this business. So it ain't that hard to figure out. Okay, let's see. Here's a good one. What's the best and worst wrestling game ever? As a mom, what's the best or worst wrestling game ever? I only ask you because I haven't played a wrestling game consistently in 13 years. So.
No, I was gonna say I can't think of one off by hand. Like it's been so long.
I mean, the thing is, the 2K brand was so damaged by that botch this last year with that horrible glitch in the game they had. So like I can't even give them any sort of credibility.
Yeah.
My personal favorite game after the awesomeness that was No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000, that era of games, my personal favorite I ever played on any platform was SmackDown versus Raw 2007 on PS2. Like that was
See,
the
my
best game.
son was like, well, he was so little, like he's just getting into video games and stuff, and he's not really into the wrestling games. He's more into like Call of Duty and Fortnite and
We
all
need him
that
on
stuff.
Twitch with
So
my buddy Carlton.
I honestly couldn't really tell you
No, there you go.
wrestling game wise.
Yeah, as far as the worst, I mean, there were some bad ones, but is there really an answer but 2K19? Like that was the worst thing that ever happened to the video game WWE, the wrestling video game industry ever. That game was so bad. Or whatever it was, 2K20, whatever it was the most recent one before they discontinued it because it was so bad. That one was just atrocious. Like, oh my god. Like Dylan played a demo of it and he about had an aneurysm and it's like, oh god. Man, everybody's blowing me up today. Jesus Christ. Oh, cool. My shirt, my Chris Jericho shirt will be here tomorrow. Hey, cool.
There you go.
Let's see. Let's see here. Here we go. Who do you see winning the Women's Royal Rumble? Perhaps a surprising Rhea Ripley. Why is Rhea Ripley still called a surprise at this point? She's more than proven herself in the last year.
Yeah.
She ended last year on people's shoulders with NXT Championship and only lost the title because, the blonde juggernaut came through WrestleMania and decided to, play NXT again. Like, that's already, I'm serious. Rhea should not have lost the championship. She shouldn't have. Rhea should have been given the rub and freaking made, it could have made her more than she was already made by beating Shayna. So, there was that. Rhea winning the Rumble would not surprise me at all. The thing that would surprise me is if Lana won. If Lana wins the Rumble, I'm going to have a spaz. Okay? If she wins tonight, I'm going to have a spaz. So there's that. But again, CJ, she's working hard. God bless her. She's working with, Shayna, who is very, very good, and Nia, who's not. So, it's, I don't know. Like it feels to me like they're trying to make up for doing what they did because of how Miro exited. So,
Yeah, I don't. Hello? Okay. I'm working.
That's okay. Yeah. So I don't, I don't think it should be a surprise. I think it should be somebody that we would expect to be.
Yeah, but it's going to be something retarded like Lana.
Right. I know.
I guess that's the direction they seem to be going in.
Right.
It's hard to say because I don't know. They're all over the place. Like honestly, like their storylines are all over the place right now.
Exactly. It's terrible. Oh my goodness.
So I mean, depending what's happening with the Sasha Carmella stuff, Bailey, it could be Bianca that wins the Rumble.
Yeah. Okay. I have a great question for you since I know you have a good eye for like marketing and whatnot. They had Carmella smash that bottle of champagne over Sasha's back on Friday. How is it not her own bottle?
I don't know.
How do they not use the Copa, whatever that's called? That's just marketing failure. Like, what the hell?
I don't know. I don't know what to think of the character. I don't see where they're going with it.
And it's just such a shame because I've liked everything they've done with her, including the nonsense with Ellsworth. But I prefer Leah, the podcaster, so much more than her character. Her character,
you have her supposed to be this untouchable, badass woman.
Yeah.
Granted, no, she plays it well.
Right.
But you throw her into a storyline with the champion right away.
Yeah.
Like you have to build her. Like that's just me, maybe that you have to build her, give her
No, you
some
do. You're right.
squash matches or some good matches, and then put her in with Sasha. Because now
Yeah,
what? You're going to bury her, or you're going to bury Sasha. You're going to bury one of the two at TLC.
right. And see that I think goes back to I've said this so many times. I think I've said to you privately in conversations. That goes back to the Monday Night War era, where they stopped doing like Star versus Barry Horowitz matches.
Like
Where
earn your spot. Like what happened to earning a title shot?
well,
Like you
but not even that. It's like they can't do those squash matches anymore because they can't have. Well, right now they can't because they can't have people in the damn Thunderdome because of the COVID. But they can't have the ham and eggers go in there and have large, go through 20 of them to get a build. Like they can't do that anymore because they've got everybody under contract now. So if you beat somebody, it means something whether you mean it to or not. It's not like it's Carmella's beating random redhead number 3 this week. It's
no,
she's
you
gonna
could
be
even have her going against like Natty
yeah.
or like build her up. Billy Kay, I don't know what they're doing with her. Like have her face her or something. Like you know
Billy
what I
Kay,
mean?
yeah, Billy Kay in this resume thing is just it.
But you
Like
have her, so use her. Put her
right.
against Carmella. Let
What I'm saying
Carmella
is,
be there and move up, right?
yeah, honestly don't think Natty's annoyance at the resume thing on social media is all that far off from the truth.
Mm.
It's so stupid. But yeah, you've got these people on SmackDown who are credible, long tenured company workers. You've got Natty. If you put anybody in the ring with Natty, they're gonna shine, man. Natty is the who's the male comparison that does that? I mean, I don't want to say Randy Orton because Randy Orton's way the hell up in the stratosphere somewhere. But
Well, I
you
mean,
put
she's way up there with like the Randy and
yeah
John and
yeah
like she
it's like
can
yeah
AJ. Like
yeah
she can tell a story and she can put them over.
yeah she can work either side of the fence and put her opponent over and get her to the next step.
Exactly.
And that's what the veterans are supposed to do.
So
Like,
use her.
exactly, and as far as Billy, it's so stupid that they broke them up and put them both in tag team. That boggles my mind to this day. I don't understand it. I don't.
No, I don't get it either. Like, I don't see the point of that because they were perfectly fine the way they were.
Yep.
And then you break them up and then you put her, like Peyton, in a tag team with Lacey. Now, what's the
Who?
point of that? And they haven't
Yeah.
done anything.
No, and do we know if Lacey's babyface or heel tonight? Have you made that decision yet?
I don't know.
It's so I want so bad to cheer Lacey because I like Lacey and I gave her such a hard time when they called her up and put her in that thing with Corbin and Seth and Becky because she wasn't ready. But she was. She showed me. She proved me wrong. She stepped up and she had a great program with those 3, and it was incredible. And she outgrew the green and she kicked ass. I want to cheer for her. She's got that Marine background. She's patriotic, but she just wants to be this stuck-up Southern bitch. And it's like, we haven't done this before or anything.
Like sometimes you just have to pick one.
I know it's and that's the thing. It's like both her and Natty. I never know what side of the coin they're going to be walking down the ramp with this week. I don't, and it's frustrating because I love them both, but I don't mind jeering them both either. Just tell me what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
So sorry, Aaron. That's 3 today. I know. I'm sorry, boss. Ugh,
I don't know, but you could have surprise entrants coming into the Rumble. Like I don't know, Charlotte Flair if she's ready to come back. Ronda Rousey. I don't know, right?
Yeah, I was saying all week. I think the thing to do would be seeing where Becky is in her postpartum recovery. Okay, if she's gonna be ready for a program at Mania, get Ronda in that Rumble match.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, have her win the damn thing, and then
Becky. Yeah, I can see her coming back for like closer to Mania. I can't see her coming back for the Rumble.
Well, no. Okay. Well, you've been through that twice now. She ain't gonna happen by Rumble. There's no way. So that's unrealistic thinking. It's not like Superman who tore his pec and came back 3 months early because he's John Cena and he's crazy. She literally had a person come out of her that's not a quick recovery. It's not. So,
I mean, if she can, good for her. Like she's got
well,
some superhuman body, but
yeah,
it's doable, I guess, depending
Well,
how hard she's working at home. Like none of us know any of that, right? So
of course, that's none of our business. But we also know she's training with Seth, who's a freaking gym beast. So
yeah,
it conceivably could happen. But I, as a fan, I personally would rather allow herself to have Rebecca and I forgot Seth's name. Crap. Becky and Seth time at home with Rue rather than rush back home, rush to work.
yeah.
And it's like that's happened far too much. The only person I agree with it being like okay is Mike Mizanin, because Maurice didn't come back to work. She just she stayed home and did the thing at ringside, but she didn't go back to wrestling until much later.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like Mike went back to work right away because that we need Miz on TV. He's awesome. So
yeah.
But like nobody else has come back to work that quick. So anyway, let's see where are we at here. This is a good question for both of us. Okay, Psycho Jet Black says, who are the top 5 nicest people you've ever met in wrestling? I'll go first to give you time to think. I don't want you to get in trouble. Okay. John, definitely. He was so nice and so gracious with everybody. I mean, the guy was, doing his John Cena routine where he goes to the gym, does his thing. He still came back, got out of his truck, went over to the fence, and he got to everybody. There wasn't one person left at that fence and at that gate grass thing that didn't get a John Cena picture or an autograph. That was amazing. Hulk was super nice, as was Jimmy Hart, so I'll kind of count them together. But I had met Jimmy before, so but I mean, he's Hulk Hogan. He can't not be nice to his Hulkamaniac. So that was great. Natty, sweetheart, just wonderful human being. Ricardo Rodriguez, I met on the Indies when we were still both cutting our teeth way back in 2000, and he's friend of this day. I love Chewy. I miss him being around because he's super cool. And let's see, I would say Rick Knox in the AEW referee he's a Kings fan, so nothing wrong with that. He suffered through like I have all these years of sucking so bad and crying like I did when we won the cup. That was awesome. And probably Hunter, honestly, Triple H. More so because of how he treated my son and his mother at different times, because he was just amazing for both of them. And of course, RVD. Let's not forget. Sorry, Rob. Sorry, Rob that down. I'm gonna catch you for that one.
My turn.
All right. Yes, you've had time to make sure you don't get in trouble. So yes, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I don't have really a top 5. I can just give you 5 names, kind of the nicest people, right? They're not. I mean, I can't really rank people, right? Mickey James, complete sweetheart. Very goofy.
Haven't met her yet. Her husband's cool though.
Ashley Massaro.
Oh my dear Ashley. Oh, I forgot about her.
Braun Strowman.
Really?
Big teddy bear.
Nice.
Roman Reigns. Completely different than the character he plays. Like such a humble person.
Nothing good about him ever. I know. Yeah.
And one more.
You have to do 5. Just do the many you want. I don't care. It's my network. I can say I can do what I want. I'm the boss.
Shit, I had 5. I'm trying not to get in trouble, so. Who can I? You put me on the spot now. I lost it. Off the top, I can say Scott Armstrong.
Wow, yeah, that's funny. You almost never hear a bad thing about the Armstrong boys. like any of them. I mean, okay, Road Dogg, yeah, because of who he is in the company, who he was. I've met Brian a bunch of times. Nicest dude I've met, of them all. I really. So yeah. Although
Like
he did kind of hold me out
there's so many like over the years, right? Like
right. I know. Yeah. I
when
mean,
even
God, I love telling the story. When I went to my first house show, which was June '91. I had just turned 8, so my brother was not even 4 years old yet, right? So it was my dad, my brother, and I. We went to the Los Angeles Sports Arena, which is now run down and turned into the LAFC soccer stadium here in LA. Anyway, we were in the sports arena was built like the Forum was then, where there was like 2 levels, like a loge and a colonnade type thing. And there was a walkway in this, like, that went around the whole arena. So we're like on the walkway between the 2 levels, and we're on the top level, like we're upper, and Tugboat is walking around on just kind of greeting people on the floor. And my little brother, who had just started watching not too long after I did back in '90, he's 3, so he loves Tugboat. He loves the whole thing. Tugboat, Tugboat looks up at us, just happens to look at us. My little brother, with all his 3-year-old drink, goes doo, doo, with his arm. Tugboat just right back at him. My brother didn't stop smiling for 6 days. I swear to God.
yeah.
He cried when he turned heel and joined Earthquake and hurt the Bushwhackers. He was devastated. Oh my God, I'll never forget that.
And that's the thing, like a lot of the ones like with interactions, when they do shows up here in Toronto, right? Like the first show I ever took my son to, we were 4 rows from the ring, like on the floor, and they let the kids go to the front to get their high fives and whatnot when they came around. And after the match, like it was Bray and Seth, I believe, at that point.
Wow.
And they came, they shook his hand, they gave him a hug. So it's just things like that, just watching them. For me, not being able to be up there, I had to be 4 rows back, watching my son get this interaction. And it just, for his first show, it was so good for him.
Yeah, the first time we took Dylan to WWE, because he had been indies with me because I was working all over the place. But we took him to SummerSlam Access 2011, the same year that I met your friend from NorCal, and we were just kind of hanging around, just walk around the whole place, just kind of like, whoa, because I hadn't been doing Access in over a decade. It was crazy. But my friend had VIP for Hunter. I didn't, of course, because I'm poor and I'm a podcaster. I don't make any money. So, so she volunteered to take Dylan and JJ's daughter into Hunter's VIP line. So, and Hunter had met Jade when she was still pregnant with Dylan 3 years prior, when Vince got his Hollywood Walk of Fame thing.
Right.
So I asked my friend, show Hunter the picture. And so I gave him the picture. I sent her the picture of Jade in her chair, sitting there with Hunter at the gate there at Hollywood Boulevard. So they go through, and they sit Dylan on the table, because he's 3. He's like this big. So they sit him on the table. He won't even look at Hunter. He's all shy. So in the picture, he's like kind of like half chewing on his hand. Yes. Hunter's got that big cheesy, stupid Triple H smile that he always does with the fans, with the kids. He was barely a father yet, so he didn't know how to pose with kids yet. So, but they showed him the picture. He kind of like same kid, and he goes, "Wow, like I feel so old." And JJ's daughter, God bless her, she was terrified. Like you can see in the picture, her head. I mean, she was 2.5. So she's like kind of like this, and just looking at the camera like, "Oh my God, big guy, what am I going to do?" And it's just so adorable. The kids were great with Hunter. All right, enough of the yeah stuff. All right, here we go. All right, here's an important question we all need to answer. I'm currently having a debate right now. Which restaurant do you think has the best French fries? Okay, if we're talking fast food in America, McDonald's or bust. McDonald's or bust. Like that's not even the thing. Like here in SoCal we have In-N-Out, but like I've come to realize, if you don't get the In-N-Out fries eaten in 10 minutes, you're eating stringy potatoes and it's nasty. Like it's gross. Like McDonald's French fries. And here's the thing with McDonald's: you have to order them fresh, and you tell them no salt. and then you get the salt packets and take it home and do your own thing.
Yeah.
That's the best. JJ
Yeah,
taught me.
I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah.
McDonald's superior.
As far as like restaurants sit down, if you're gonna have French fries at a restaurant, you know, really good French fries is I don't know if they're still in business, but Claim Jumper has steak fries. Oh my god! Like the first time I had steak fries, I had a revelation. I'm like, hey, these need to be a thing every day now. Like I'm gonna get so fat on potatoes, I don't even care. It's so good, so good. All right. Oh, for the record, our buddy Colin and Cleveland, who earlier said it's 32 but feels like 23 outside of Cleveland tonight. No snow yet. So exactly.
Lucky you.
He said he says European tile's about 7 to 8 pounds. That's like the replicas usually go under the 10-pound mark nowadays, because you know they don't want to have the kids or even the adults, you know, fall over from the weight. But you know, when they first started the replicas, they would cast these things full on.
They were heavy, yeah.
What's that?
Said they were heavy.
Yeah, my WCW Big Gold is heavy. Like when I was using that for the trivia championship, my shoulders would hurt. That's why, you notice when I first started doing the trivia matches, they would be on the whole show. Season 2, season 3, it started to creep off right after the introduction. Like, okay, that's enough of that shit. Thank you. It just it got to be too much of a pain in my ass to hold them. So, all right, here's a question I know that you and I can both answer very easily because I know the answer already. Do you think WWE is going to bury Sasha because of Snoop Dogg and AEW?
Yes.
Really? I was going to say no. Okay. Why? Go ahead.
They're just petty like that.
Right.
I mean, I hope not.
Right. I do too.
But they are petty like that.
And it's such a shame.
He's a very, very petty old man.
Oh boy. It's a shame because she's so damn talented and she's.
But that's why I was saying this whole thing with Carmella. One of them's going to get buried.
I know.
And you can't build this big untouchable character and put her in her first match.
Yeah.
And lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way I think it's going, and because of, you know, she's probably gonna have to change her music and all this stuff, and what's so bad is you know, like she looked like a badass Friday. Carmella looked like she was gonna kill Sasha Friday night. Like conventional wisdom would think, okay, she might win the title, but what does it do for Sasha? But then if Sasha beats Carmella, like you said, what does it do for Carmella? She loses her first pay-per-view match back. It's a Kobayashi Maru, no win scenario. Exactly. And if you get that, you're one of the cool people, and I love you. Okay, so let's see. Psychojet Black says, would more people like Lana more if she was a good wrestler? Okay, here's the thing with Lana. Like, Lana was never designed to be a full-time wrestler. That was never going to be her role. Like, she was going to be Rusev's second. That is her husband. Like, she was the ambassador for his, you know, Russian sympathizer. It was all going to be work like that. She was never supposed to actually get in the ring full-time. Okay? Rusev getting soured on by the company and vice versa forced their hand with her. Yeah, because what do you do with her, right?
Because what are you going to have her second one of the girls? Have her second somebody else like they did with Ziggler, which was a horrible experiment. You know,
they kind of do have her doing that though, right?
Well, right. I mean, she's kind of like Asuka's second right now, but they're also competing together, and they may be attacking champions come Sunday. So you know, I still say they should sign Tessa Blanchard and have her and Charlotte be the tag team champions. That way, Charlotte gets her Grand Slam achievement. Okay, let's see. Everybody's Cleaver says, as a dad, I don't see Becky coming back for the Rumble. See, he gets it.
No.
He gets it. You know. Oh, here we go. I like this one. Most unexpected place you ever met a wrestler. I like this one because I got a few of them.
I'll pass on that one.
That a girl, smart girl. Okay, so there's a few for me. I was, let's see, where's the one? I'm trying to think of the very first one because there's quite a few. Here we go. The best one, I've told the story a few times, but if you haven't heard it, you're going to hear it now. I was working at Blockbuster Video back in 2001. I was toward the end of my tenure. I started in the summer of 2000. I was 17, so I turned 18, graduated high school, was getting ready to transition to another job. And so this is, I want to say it was May of 2001. It wasn't too long after the last Nitro. I'm sitting there, doing I think I was shrink wrapping. If you don't know what shrink wrapping is, you're too young for this show. Get off my channel. I was doing that with the videotapes, and I was just kind of cleaning the counter off, and the door opens, this big glass door, this big shadow appears in the door when I look up, and oh boy, and he and his family come in, and the wife and the kids scatter to look for videos, VHSs, that's all I am, to rent, and I, calmly as I possibly can, knowing who he is, walk over to this person and start a conversation with him, because he had been off TV for 2 months because WCW had gone out of business, and he had wrestled Ric Flair in the last Nitro. Sting. Steve Borden walked into my workplace. I'm like, hi, okay. So yeah, we talked for 20 minutes. Just like my boss is looking like, and I kind of went, and okay. So we talked, and the very last thing I asked him, I said, do you see yourself going to work for Vince? He goes, I don't think so. I don't know what Vince will do with Sting, and I don't want to trust that.
Squash it.
What's that?
Squash him.
Well, yeah, 15 years later, but he still did it. Jesus. Sting was Nostradamus back then, and tell you what, yeah, but yeah, that was the weird.
The only thing I could probably say without getting into too much trouble is Twitter about 8 years ago.
Oh boy.
And we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And actually, I mean, you and me meeting on social media because you were a fan of the No DQ shows, which it's still funny to me after 10 years. All right, here we go. Question for you two. Here we go. Do you see Seth Rollins coming back as a baby face, maybe Rumble or Mania? And do you see a potential face Seth versus heel Roman match, or heel Seth versus face Big E? That was a lot to unpack there, Elijah. Goodness gracious. Okay. All right. So, first of all, I think the best case scenario is for Seth to come back as a babyface off that new dad, vibe, win the Rumble, challenge Roman.
Yeah, play off of that.
There you go. As far as Seth versus Big E, I think the money is Big E versus Roman down the line if he's still champion. Yeah. Like they like, I don't know if you watch Talking Smack, Lise, but Paul Heyman talked to Big E on Saturday morning, and
I heard he's pretty much endorsing him, right?
Yeah, basically said the minute you realize how good you are and how your legacy will not be defined by the New Day, you got nothing but upside. I was like, God damn, Paul speaking the freaking prophet. Yeah. Good grief, as he does, right? Paul's great. So yeah, Big E needs to realize that Big E is Big E, and before Big E started, shaking his gut, to rhythmic music, he was a badass winning the NXT Championship and seconding Dolph Ziggler as the world champion. So he needs to be Big E again, damn it.
Yeah, like Seth, like he's a star, no doubt. But yes. I see him when he's coming back. I don't see him going against Roman anytime soon. I see him more in like a Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan, like that kind of mid card right now.
Right, but like the upper mid card, yeah.
Yeah. And then kind of working his way up. I mean, there's so much they can do with Roman right now, and to throw him in the mix is just going to be
right.
Not now, like later after Mania, but not now.
I mean, at this point, they're still pinning their hopes on Rock coming in. So they're
pinning their hopes on a lot of people coming in, and I don't think anything's working out for them right now.
Yeah, and you and I talk about this on this show. It's like you can't have Person A without crowds. You can have Punk. Ronda you can pull off, I think, because the crowds.
I think you would prefer not to have the crowds, right?
Right, because I was in that Staples Center when her hometown people turned on her. It was ugly, and you saw it then. It was an instant. I'm done. Like she couldn't get to Mania fast enough.
Yeah, so
she was so soured on it. I mean, seriously, I think Aaron and I were the only ones that weren't booing Ronda or cheering Charlotte. I was like, I looked at Aaron and said, "This is bad, man. This is bad. I'm telling you, it's bad." Because when your hometown turns on you, it's the shittiest feeling. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, like her, she can make it work without the fans. But if you're gonna have somebody like The Rock, John,
Punk, any of them, yeah.
Punk, yeah. I mean, I think Punk's time's kind of dwindling. with him right
Right.
now.
Well, I mean, he made it very clear on Renee's podcast that it's like 99% not going to happen in either company. It's just not.
But
So
like, I mean, he's so right though. Like, there was
he
nobody
is.
for him.
No, no. The thing is, people don't realize he's been gone so long. Like, what is there for him to do in this era of WWE at this point?
Where he
Like,
can go to AEW and he can face the likes of like Moxley, Omega,
right.
you know, have those amazing matches. But there's nobody. I mean, not to put anything against the talent now, but at that level, like for him, right?
The thing is, everybody that's at his level, he's faced and either beat or put over.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay, with all due
that's what I
respect to
meant.
everybody as the champion, yeah, all the champions, there's no need for him to put Drew McIntyre over. Drew McIntyre is freaking over.
Yeah,
He doesn't need the CM Punk rub, nor does Roman Reigns. Okay, he just doesn't. Roman's got Paul for Christ's sake, so there's that. Whereas like you said, AEW, he's got a fresh coat of paint on Dean Ambrose, John Moxley. There's that to work with. There's Chris Jericho, who I never really got a full satisfaction out of their feud. Like their WrestleMania match, just kind of it was like a fart in church. It was like, okay, yeah, it's there, but freaking what's his name?
It could have been more, right?
Asshole. Laurinaitis ruined that by that stupid DQ rule. So that was stupid. And then his comeback with Jericho when he came back, it was just a weird vibe because you didn't know who was the face and who was it was just weird. So like there's definitely meat left on that bone. Like you said, Kenny Omega, I'd love to see Kenny Omega and CM Punk go to town. My goodness gracious. And there's the other thing. AJ Lee also, if they put AJ Lee on the AEW Women's roster, I'd be interested 105 more percent.
They definitely need work in their women's division.
I've said this every show I've had the last 3 weeks. The NWA Women's Championship is saving the AEW Women's roster.
But they're young, right? They're
I know.
They're building. They're getting there.
I understand that, and I know we're putting so much expectations on this company because we want something different. But at the end of the day, it's like I don't understand why. These I know I've seen these women on the circuit. I know they're talented. They're just not there. Like there's something not happening, and
That's like if AJ came back to like WWE, what do you do with her?
Right. Again, everybody on that roster that was there when she was there is not there, and they've put so much time and money invested in building this amazing women's roster that got elevated once she left. What do you do with that? There's just nothing you can do with it. So,
Yeah, and that's like, with the Bellas coming back or whatever. Like, God.
We said at the same time, Jinx.
But I mean, like, what's the point?
Yeah,
So they get their titles. Boop-de-doo. That should have been done years ago, but
I know there's a fan sitting there in Michigan right now that's going to hate me for this, but why? No, they don't need to come back.
Their time is done.
It is, and it's been done for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Once, God help me, please, God help me. Once she broke up with John,
done.
Done.
Irrelevant.
Both of them got what they wanted out of it. I mean, really. So
anyway.
Kind of. Anyway, we need to move on now. Okay. Okay. I answered that already.
That pissed me off when I read that he went.
Oh God! And the thing is, Lise, it's like, okay, even if they do, why do we need to know about it as fans?
Exactly.
Why do we need to know that information? Why is it any of our damn business?
Because it was going to get leaked anyway. Okay,
well, yeah, but the thing is, people like Terry Taylor would not get shit on for being a stooge back in the day, and but the Vince approved stooges were okay, but don't be Terry Taylor and leak shit to everybody. Like, where do you draw the line? Like, where does that come on?
And that's the thing. Like, I think it was Aaron that posted something on Twitter about like if Twitter was around back in 99, early 2000 or whatever, what would people be complaining about then?
WCW.
Everything. Everything.
Everything.
There would
Yeah,
not
yeah,
be
yeah.
something that somebody would not be complaining about back then.
No, and that's
None
the
of
whole
that
thing.
stuff back then can
Right.
happen now.
No. Nope. And that's the whole thing. People are so just I talked about this in private and I think on the show a few times. Everybody's so quick to focus on, well, this sucks because of this. Well, how about what's good?
Well, exactly.
The fact that, okay, you can see it as Vince doesn't see anything in it. No, Vince does see it in them. He just doesn't see them living up to it and wants them to be better.
No, and social media doesn't help at all these days.
Well, no.
There's no secrets, there's no mystery about it. There's nothing. Like, their personal lives and blah blah blah. Like, I don't know, like when I was a kid, that was the whole thing. Like Hulk Hogan was like this big mystery, right? We knew nothing about him until social media, and then you have the dirt sheets. Sorry, I know they don't like me calling it that. But sorry, Aaron.
Well, okay, no, that's fine. Aaron doesn't consider himself that.
Oh no,
because
I know. We've talked about this before.
Because he basically just reposts what Meltzer and but he's whatever.
Yeah, no,
But
if you're
no,
gonna tell a story,
tell the whole story.
tell it properly. I mean,
Yeah.
there was this thing with Randy, and it went completely.
Oh yeah.
No facts, no nothing about it, and his wife laid into him, and like it was just like, if you're gonna report a story, don't just do it for the clicks, right?
Now,
Like,
I have encouraged many times the higher ups in my social life to not just take Big Dave's word for things.
No, do your research first.
Because he gets off on people fucking up because of him. He does. And I don't care what Matt and Nick say. I don't care. I don't, guys. I'm sorry. He is the biggest mark for himself. So anyway, what the hell is this? Anyway, so all right, question for both of you. What are some of the best and worst cities you've been in California and Canada? Because I guess I don't know where you are. So I guess you can, if you want to say what province you're in, you can. That way you can kind of narrow it down for yourself.
I'm in Ontario.
Okay. So so for me, California is the state. So
I've been to California though.
I know you have. Except you didn't see somebody when you were here, but that's okay. So for me, since I live in LA County, LA is not a good answer because I've seen LA all the time, and my favorite sports team plays in downtown Los Angeles, so I've seen the best and the worst of LA. Lord knows. I'll put it this way: as far as worst, okay. So Travis and I, when we went to the last Kings game before the shit hit the fan in March, we were trying to find a place to grab some grub to eat on the way home. So we stopped at the one McDonald's. It looked like it was open, and it wasn't open. And we took a turn. I couldn't tell you what street it was, but when we turned right and went up about a block, homeless blankets everywhere. Skid Row. I'm like, we are the whitest guys in the room. We need to get the hell out of here now. Like now. To turn around. What's going on? Just turn the car around, Travis. Just turn the car around. I'll explain when we get into better territory. So that was the worst. Sacramento was cool. I got to go to the Capitol. We were driving to Oregon to see my aunt after they had moved. And that was cool to have that experience. I saw the San Francisco airport, and I got to look outside and see how beautiful the city was. But that's really all I saw, unfortunately, because I was on I was on a layover going to Oregon again. So I haven't been to the city yet. I'd love to see it someday. San Diego is beautiful if you can deal with the ocean smell, especially down by the Navy Yard, because it smells like ocean, man. It's funky. Long Beach used to be really beautiful when I was first going to the race down there. But it's on the news every night, put it that way. I mean, my town's beautiful, parts of it. I mean, there's too many damn people up here now, so there's too many homes being built. There's not enough scenery anymore, but I mean, got Canada. Like I haven't seen a ugly part of Canada, anything I've ever seen from you guys yet. So
There's not really. It really is a beautiful country.
yeah.
Like some of the best places I've been, like Vancouver,
Oh God, yeah,
absolutely beautiful out there.
yeah.
Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Mm,
If I can move one place outside of the country, I'd definitely move to Vancouver, British Columbia, because it's gorgeous
as
up there, and there's hockey. So there you go. So
exactly. And as of like in Ontario, like well, where I am is great. I'm about
yeah,
an hour and a half outside of Toronto.
yeah,
So pretty good. Toronto, then you can go further up north, there's like North Bay, Sudbury, Timmins, like it's all beautiful up here. The worst place I've been has been Trois River in Quebec,
oh yeah, okay,
and I don't speak French. That's
right,
why. And it was just like I've been to Montreal a couple times.
yeah.
It's not bad there, but I was probably about 2.5 hours outside of Montreal, out in the
Right.
boonies, right?
Oh
And it
jeez.
was just horrible. Like it was just like so rude and yeah. So I was out there for a friend's wedding, but
Oh, there you go.
other
Yeah,
than that,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
I don't really have any complaints. So
yeah. Like I'm not gonna tell you, I mean, because I just her backyard when we FaceTime, like I just, oh, it's so pretty. She showed me the snow. I'm like it's snowing like crazy. I still want to go just to see it in person because I'm a Cali boy. I don't see that shit. So it's just last time it snowed here and stuck was it'll be 10 years ago next month.
oh wow.
Yeah, I swear to God, at least I'm in my kitchen. Dylan's in his high chair. That's how long ago it was, right? And I'm putting him in his high chair, and Jade comes in, and my mom looks up. She goes, "It's snowing." I said, "Bullshit." I open the door. It's snowing. Like I'm like, oh, we're such idiots. Freaking bundling up, putting the snow gear on, and we're going outside. And they're just looking at it. We're taking pictures. The freaking this is embarrassing. The backyard had so much dog doo-doo in it that when the snow fell and stuck, it froze around the droppings and made for like a freaking like a minefield out there. It's hysterical on pictures. My mom's van was covered in snow. My dad's beautiful, almost brand new Mustang was covered in snow. That was fun. There's a great picture. I have two pair of pictures of Dylan, one holding the little snowball like this, just kind of like casual cool, and one of him looking up like, it's just like, we're such idiots when it snows because we don't get it. Like, it's really good.
Well, when you get it 6 months out of the year,
Right.
every year,
Yeah. Yeah.
you kind of get used to it.
There's a great picture of, okay, you're done, dude. You're bugging. Okay. Block your ass. Thank you very much.
Tell me
So
later.
there, if you watch the early Jeff Meacham YouTube entries, it's like at like the third or fourth video I did, and I was back east with Greg doing just for the 2013 Rumble, which was a fun Rumble because Rock was going to win the title, and I was very anti Dwayne at the time, and his wife was not. Like I almost had to sleep on the porch pretty much.
Oh
Anyway.
no.
It was I was not kind to Dwayne at all. I was riding his ass like a show pony.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, well, you know why. But anyway, so we're outside on his deck on the back porch deck, just starting. We're recording a video, and we look up, little flakes, just kind of. Oh, okay, no big deal. All of a sudden, shit! We had to go into the basement to get warm, and then restart the show. I've never seen that much snow in my entire life. Like it like once it started, it didn't stop. I was there for a week. I think it snowed 5 out of the 7 days I was there.
Yep.
It was bonkers. And this is of course, I was in Pennsylvania in January because I'm an idiot. Don't know how to book my travel. But then again, it was Rumble season. That's why I went back there because that's his show. Greg was Rumble. The other time I had weird weather like that, if you can call it weird and untimely and obnoxious, the first time my whole family, my brother, myself, and my parents went to Disney World. We landed on a Tuesday. As we're pulling away from the terminal in Orlando to head for the Disney Resort Hotel we were staying at, it started to sprinkle. It didn't stop raining. I don't mean California rain, where a bunch of wussies out here and it rain. Oh, it's raining. We can't. And we drive like idiots. I mean raining until we boarded the plane to go home a week later.
Mhm.
The entire Disney World trip, we were in rain boots and ponchos.
See, that's where I lucked out, I guess, because every time I've been to Orlando, it's been beautiful.
Yes, I know. And Miami, of course, was beautiful. It's an area. It's just damn it. Okay, what do we got here? David says, since he is in Europe, he asks, do you think WWE or AEW will do a pay-per-view in England or in Europe? I think WWE is more likely at this point. It really just depends when damn pandemic lets us do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know Vince wants to go back to Europe and do something because he's been wanting to go back and do one since the Attitude Era, but he just hasn't. You know, he did an NXT one there, but that was Hunter, not him. So, and I can't imagine AEW not wanting to be in Europe because they want to be a global presence. So it's really a matter of, you know, it's a matter of this vaccine, you know, kicking in and letting us get the hell out of here again. Like, I'm glad you guys want to have wrestling in Europe and you want to go to WrestleMania. I want to go to my sister's 50 minutes away.
Yeah, no doubt.
I want to go see my sister. Well, not she's not 50 more. It's like an hour and a half now because she moved farther out because my life sucks.
But still, right?
But yeah, it's like I haven't seen her since I got stuck at her house for the last time. It's not, you know, and she yesterday's her birthday. By the way, I know you don't watch this, but I love you. Happy birthday. Let's see. Here we go. Good evening, guys. Just wondering, have you ever seen a wrestling show at MSG or the Barclays Center? Which one is better in your opinion? I like the Barclays. I have stated many times it is on my bucket list to have the Kings be in town to face the Rangers at the same time WWE's in town, so I can do the Garden for both.
Yeah.
I've never been to New York I've never been to New York, period. But I would love to see a Kings Rangers game and a WWE show at the Garden because that would be like a huge stamp on my bucket list. That would be amazing. I'm not a fan of the Barclays only because they took SummerSlam away from us. That's the honest truth. However, the last SummerSlam we had here, I was okay with it going away for a while because that wasn't a pretty show. So, but I would love to see a Barclays WWE show because that's their new New York place besides the Garden. So that'd be cool. I don't have a favorite because I've never been either one. So, I mean, like Vince Sr. said, the Garden will always be the Garden. So
exactly.
There's so much history in that name because there's been 4 Gardens now. So there's so much history in that name. I mean, you know, that's where, you know, Capital really, you know, broke away from Mushnick and NBA and really said, okay, we're here. This is our place. And that's where Buddy dropped the title to Bruno, and Bruno, you know, sold out the place 190 something times, whatever it was. So, you know, it's a sort of, you know, I want to see a show at the Garden. That's for sure. I still want to see a dry WWE show in Florida. That'd be nice. Because WrestleMania 24, it started to rain there too. It was the funniest thing. And this is going to sound really like arrogant, but I swear to God it happened. So my dad and I went back in 2008, and the original plan was Disney World because I had just lost my job, and not to sound, you know, dramatic, but I was having my pregnant non-girlfriend move in with me, so my life was going down the poop hole. So he's like, we're going to go to Disney World WrestleMania. Okay, I won't say no to that. We land. We go to the hotel. We get up day one to go to the Magic Kingdom. We're walking across the promenade of the All-Star Sports Resort there at Disney World. And we're walking across, getting ready to go to the cafeteria, and it starts to sprinkle again, just like it did when we went last time. I look up at the sky, I go, no! Stop raining. I'm like, all right, God 0, me 1. Very good. We'll see how far that goes. And then, of course, Dwayne spent 6 hours talking his ass off at the Hall of Fame, like, oh, this is your revenge. Thanks. I appreciate that. Thanks. They edited it down. It was still a 4-hour show. Good Lord. I mean, Dwayne, I love you now, but damn, man. Ugh. Okay. I'm Sorry, I'm on a tangent there. Okay. This isn't a wrestling question, but I'll answer it. What are your thoughts on Stephen A. Smith constantly trashing the Cowboys? I trash the Cowboys, and they're my team. They suck. They're terrible. Like, how can you not trash the Cowboys right now? They're just, I mean, granted, it's like kicking a guy while you're down, so it's kind of mean, but you know, they're terrible. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see. Eric Travis has a couple of questions. I have a few questions. Looks like let's get a couple paragraphs here. All right. Good evening, guy and girl. Well, thank you for the for formality. I appreciate that. Who are your top 5 comedians of all time? Ooh, interesting. And do you see Edge coming back during TLC or the Rumble time? The money match is Edge versus Fiend. I wouldn't mind Edge versus Orton either. Okay.
Edge and Orton will finish first.
Right. And okay. You would know this better than I because I don't see it. Where is the money in Edge versus the Fiend? Where is that?
There's not.
Like I love both of them to pieces. But there's nothing there. I don't get it. Edge versus Orton is definitely unresolved business. So
Yeah, if anything, it's Edge versus Orton first before anything else. See how long Edge is around for.
Right.
Go from there.
And we'll see when he's healthy. And that's the thing. Not only is he healing up from a horribly mistimed injury, he's coming back out of a COVID environment where he's been with his wife and daughters, and he has to go back to work and be around people that he's not with all the time. So that's a daunting task for a father. I love that Edge came back, and I love that he was able to do his thing. But I know he's got that competitive juice because that's who he is. But if I'm him, I'm going to pick my spot and just wait and see how things play out. So, as far as comedians, Robin Williams is always number one.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Horrible loss for the world. If you classify him as a comedian, then Jeff Dunham, because I watched it.
He's so funny.
Have you seen his new one? On
Yes.
Hollywood.
Yep.
I swear on God and country, I literally had a dribble pee out of my pants last night. I laughed that hard. The best one he's ever done, ever. So funny. He's hysterical.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, I can get behind. Chris Titus. Teresa introduced me to Chris Titus. That dude is hysterical. I love him. And Ron White for me is my top 5.
So me, I'd probably go Robin Williams, definitely. Kevin Hart, Wayne Brady.
Okay.
Who else is there? Oh, see, now I lost it. See, damn it, I had my list. Jim Carrey. Have to stick with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I think if Dice had been able to have his material age better, yeah. I think if Andrew Dice Clay has material age better, he'd be up there for me. But it just does not age well at all.
I know I like Dane Cook.
Dane Cook's funnier than hell. It's funny. Jane introduced me to Dane Cook. I didn't like him at first, but he grew on me. Like I like him now. He's funnier than hell. But yeah, Rob Williams is. If Rob Williams is your number one, you just don't know what.
You know how petty I am. Like,
oh, here we go.
Don't judge. But when it comes to like, I loved Robin Williams. Like, there's nobody that will top Robin Williams.
Right.
I will not watch the live action Genie movie or like Aladdin.
Nice.
I will not do it.
Right.
No, it's just like my kids want to watch it. You know, I'm like, go ahead, you can watch it. I will not watch it.
No.
There's nothing against Will Smith. Like, he's a fantastic actor.
Yes.
But that role belongs to Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And I can't do it.
Okay, I will say this about the movie, and I'll I know, well, no, that whatever. I can't judge anybody about being petty, and you know this. So okay, I will suggest this. Don't watch the movie. Listen to the soundtrack. The soundtrack of that movie is beautiful, and their version of A Whole New World makes me cry more than the original does.
Okay, well, maybe I'll do that.
And that was Brian Jade's song, so that shows you how deep it is, right?
Yeah, maybe I'll do that, and it'll entice me to watch it. But I don't know. I just, for some reason, I just can't do it.
And while you're listening to the songs on the soundtrack, call Spotify and have them put Robin's tracks on there.
Yeah.
Dicks. Anyway. Okay. this isn't at least a question, but I'll go ahead and answer it if she wants to chime in. I appreciate it. If you were to do a wrestling rewind from the past 5 years, which pay-per-view would it be? All In. Easily. I would. All In because nobody's covered it yet because it's still too new.
Mhm.
I love that show so much. It was the first pay-per-view I ordered.
I'll be right back.
That's okay. It was the first pay-per-view I ordered that wasn't on the network that wasn't WWE in over 10 years. So that'd be All In. All right. Let's see here. Michael says, I like to see Edge versus Kevin Owens for Sami Zayn. Or Sami Zayn. I'll let Lisa answer that when she comes back because that's definitely her category with a Canadian contingent there. Let's see. Comedians on Brendan's list are Robin Williams, George Carlin, Jeff Foxworthy, Richard Pryor, and Eddie Murphy. I love those guys. I think those guys are all hysterical. George Carlin is sorely missed in the comedy world. He was a freaking genius like Robin was, and we lost Lisa. Okay. Same with Richard Pryor, way ahead of his time, a genius as well. And Eddie Murphy's, he's always been funny. I love Eddie Murphy. He's great. Let's see here. Eric says, I don't want you to get mad, but are Adam Sandler and Kevin Spade, I think you mean David Spade, and Louis Black, legends of comedy with the likes of Eddie Murphy and George Carlin and Ron White. I love Adam Sandler. I think he's funnier than hell. But I think David Spade is terribly unfunny. I think he's terribly not entertaining. Hang on one second. No hack was supposed to get that earlier today, but shit happened. Okay. I do like Louis Black to a certain extent. He's kind of hit or miss for me, but I do like Adam Sandler. But David Spade, I can't. I think he's terrible. He sucks. Let's see here. Says, what do you think of Independence Day? It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Independence Day. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. And I know that's saying a lot, but it is. I love that movie so much. I love the speech that President Whitmore gives. I play that every single 4th of July without fail. That speech, I love that speech. It's my favorite presidential speech besides Lincoln stuff. I'm telling you. There you go. All right. Cleaver says Chris Farley, absolutely. Rob Williams, John Candy, Eddie Murphy, and Drew Carey. Yep, I'm all about it. Absolutely. But you have to say Drew Carey though. I mean, right? You got to say Drew Carey because you're from Cleveland. That's I like Drew Carey on the Drew Carey Show. I like Drew Carey on Whose Line. I do not like Drew Carey hosting The Price is Right. And I said that before, and I mean it. All right, it looks like we've lost Lisa for the rest of the show, and I think we're going to wind it down because Raw is about to begin. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up and do that. And Eric Travis says Chris Farley was hilarious, and John Candy, my favorite with Candy, is Steve Martin playing Don Bluth. That's a great movie. I love it. Cleaver with the final question: what was better, Rookie of the Year, Andrews in the outfield? Andrews in the outfield. I'm biased. I'm a Cali boy. No, he means Drew Carey. He's from Cleveland. Trust me. Oh, what's shit? Well, I look like an asshole, don't I? All right. I thought you meant Drew Carey because of Cleveland. Sorry, it's a natural assumption. Thank you, Paulo. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, sir. All right. So, to review, tomorrow on the Jeff Meacham Network and on the NoDQ.com YouTube channel, we will be having our whoops, there, I'm going to get rid of the banner. Can't see shit. There we go. Hi. Our official predictions for Sunday's TLC extravaganza. live, of course, on the WWE Network and its affiliates across the world. Hang on one second. No, it is not, and I'm still on the air. Stand by. Okay. So that's tomorrow on the Championship Network and on the NoDQ.com side of things on YouTube. Tomorrow night, following the TLC predictions, we will be. Whoops! What the hell? It's all good, Lise. Mom duties are a thing. It's all good. Following the TLC prediction show, we will be going live with Stat Boys Sports Bar. I know I said 4 o'clock. I realized we're going to be at 4 o'clock with Aaron. So that'll be tomorrow night after we're done with TLC predictions. Wednesday, Greg Sherry show at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific, a.m. That's a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m. Thursday, we have Wrestling Rewind with the Triple Threat match from Armageddon. Friday is the Dads Not Always on Wrestling, our top 10 Christmas movies. All right, we're getting some more comments in here, like you guys always do with Aaron. I love it. I think Steve Harvey is the best host of Family Feud since Richard Dawson. Maybe even better than Dawson. You heard it here. Psycho Jet Black, will we ever see the Drew Carey show on streaming services? I bet CBS gets it. Just saying. Wouldn't surprise me. All right. It's time for the plugs. It's all good. I'm wrapping it up. All right, here we go. Time for the plugs. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, you of course can find me all over the broadcasting side of media, and I'm on YouTube as you're watching right now. I'm on Anchor if they ever sponsor me again. We have me on Teespring at teespring.com/GregCherryBrand, which you can find all these shirts and more. And there's Lisa, Miss Lisa herself, in the tank top on the right side. I love that tank top. I'm so glad how it turned out. You can also find me on Twitter, on the gram, Instagram, maybe, and on Facebook at Jeff Meacham Network. So there's that. My friend Alexandria the Red, the beautiful cosplayer, she put up a new post today celebrating her roots, her St. Lucia Day roots. So check that out over patreon.com. That's Alexandria the Red, and on her social media pages. My buddy Laura across the pond at onlyfans.com, Laura Sense fan. Love her to pieces, as I say every show. Our boy the Cleaver out in Cleveland at nodq.com/Colin, and you're watching on youtube.com/the Cleaver Colin Andrews. So I thank you for that, as I always do. You just heard the lovely Lisa's voice. You can find her on Twitter at Angel Lisa Marie 2. So check her out there. Hit her up, interact with her. She'll talk with you. She'll tweet with you. All that happy jazz. And don't forget tonight, immediately following Monday Night Raw, where you can check the latest results of NoDQ.com's news section, opinions, features, and you can vote for the year-end awards at NoDQ.com as well. And tonight after Raw, you can check Aaron Riff's exclusive coverage of the show at NoDQ.com YouTube channel, youtube.com/Aaron Riff NoDQ, which of course you're watching it here as well. So we thank you for that at NoDQ.com. So thank you very much. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. I didn't expect to go 2 hours, but I appreciate you guys sticking around for the ride. That was fun. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you guys so very, very much. That does it for me. So I will see you guys in the chat room after Monday Night Raw. It's coming up in about 7 minutes on the USA Network. And wherever you watch your Monday Night Raw, whether it be USA or Sky or wherever the hell the channel is over there, and all that jazz. So, all right, that's it. That's it for the Meech. Good night. Godspeed. We'll see you tomorrow for the NoDQ.com and Jeff Meacham Network TLC predictions. Good night, guys.